All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Fast Track Unplugged. As you can see, we got the background kind of changed up here. Did a little rearranging in the office podcast studio. But yeah, we're getting ready to go. Welcome to the first episode of Fast Track Unplugged, where we are going to go over my Snowcross power rankings. So we're going to get into a little bit. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is our first episode. I'm pretty excited about this. I don't get a good chance to really unleash my opinions on racing to whether it's my wife or some of my buddies. I'll have phone calls and even the podcast I did with Josh with Paparazzi. I'll try to hit a link up, but it's just cool to get to talk about racing. I'm really passionate about a lot of different series, and obviously a lot of that goes to snowmobile racing. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. I also love power rankings. NFL season comes around, and I'm looking for the Vikings and how underrated we are. But and that's, speaking of which, we're praying that Josh Dobbs is gonna lead us to the promised land. But we're gonna go into do two segments. First one here is gonna be a pro class, and I will come out with a part 2 for pro light. So let's get into it. Pro class. Pro class is super deep. It's really, really deep. When I was going through these, the middle of them is wide open. There's a lot of really good guys. There's a lot of talent in this field, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be a fun year for the pro class. Number 10, Cole Camm. Alright guys, so since I made that first video, Cole Camm has announced that he's injured. Didn't give a timeline, didn't really give what his injury was, so we hope for a fast recovery for Cole. But that opens up number 10 in our power ranking. So I want to bring up the 3 rookies who, not really going to give any of them the nod, but tell me who you think should be number 10 or higher in the power rankings. Evan Doubt makes a move to Skidoo, True North Boss Racing. He's a pro light winner. He's had a few pro light wins. Had that awesome race last year against Lael. Was the first guy to win. Kind of a big year for him. Stepping stone. Marcus Ogamar, who we saw challenge for a title here a few years ago. Obviously really fast. Dealt with some injury bugs last year. Was just kind of off in the first part of the season. He moves over to 1-3 Motorsports to work with Lincoln Lemieux. And those guys. And then Riley Bester, he's the only guy who kind of stays put, stays at the La Valley Polaris Racing Camp, moving up to the pro ranks. Still has guys like Kyle Pauline, Adam Peterson to lean back on as far as riding coach or mentor. And but he moves up to that stack pro class. So tell me who you think will do the best out of those 3. Number 9, Dan Benham. I've been really high on Dan for a long time in his career. I remember back, I tried to look for the stats, I could not find it, but I swore that he won a race his rookie year in the Pro Open class. That's when they were still racing with twin pipes and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't find it. He was on Factory Cat then. After that, he moved to Werner Racing. I don't know things. I heard things, but I don't know what really went down there. But, it was on Dan that he wanted to get back on a cap, and rightfully so. When they made the change to the stock sled with a can on it and cover the windshield or cover the lights, Cat put a lot of work into it. But since then, there hasn't been a lot of R&D, so I kind of question if that's putting holding him back. I know he went back to the all finish deal. There was a ton of money spent there. They had top notch of everything, it seemed like, but that's what Dan wanted to do. So he moves to Woody's Racing this year. Woody's doesn't have a really big background with the pro class. I know they've had riders and stuff, but Dan's going to be by far their best rider as far as a pro goes. So he should be a podium threat, maybe some wins. I'd like to see him climb up the power ranking, my power rankings a little bit, but we'll just have to see. Number 8, Adam Peterson. Again, a guy that needs some consistency. He shows, he's got a ton of speed. He's super, super talented. He has the ability to go out, win heat races. He was on, I think he podiumed a few times last year. But he's on an improved Polaris. He's the focus at Team Laval as he was last year. He's got a riding coach or, team manager, however you want to say it, in Kyle Pleen helping him. Kyle's still really good at walking a track, telling you what's going to be fast. So it will be interesting. He gets a pro teammate in Riley Bester this year, who just didn't make it to the top 10 in my power rankings, but I hope he proves me wrong. But I think Adam's going to be a podium threat. Just needs to continue to improve to show that he can be a race in, race out threat, and continue to work his way up to be top 5 guy and possibly a championship threat. Number 7, Oscar Norum. Oscar is another guy that I'm really high on. And let me tell you guys, if Oscar comes out in Ironwood and shows any type of form in as far as double podiums, wins a final, wins a couple heat races, he's going to rocket straight up my power rankings. Dude missed all of last year, most of last year. He rode really good in Fargo, got injured. But Har and Cam really got that sled to be fast, really towards the end of the year. I know Cody came out swinging right away, but the afterburners that Har was able to put on in the middle of the year, I think that's going to go a super long way to help a guy like Oscar Norum really be good. So it'd be very interesting to see how he comes out. And like I said, if he double podiums, he's going to rocket up this list. It's just that this midfield is so packed up. Number 6, Francis Pelletier. He's moving over to Thien. Again, kind of like the Cole Coutu deal. Is it going to change? Is the sled going to change? He will probably be the main focus over at Thien, just being he's the guy that's ridden before on the dues. And then again, they have championship pedigree and their race sleds and prep and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a big question for Thien is, can you translate that from having the fastest guy winning championships, but can you move on from him and put another guy right in that spot? Francis might be the guy. He's got a lot of experience with Dew. I think he's been there forever. He shows a lot of speed. He's got the ability to win races. It's up to them to really put it together and poise something for the entire year. Kind of same boat is Hunter Patnaud. Now, I don't know a lot about Hunter. I've never met him. He's the only guy in the pro class that I've never personally met or talked to a lot. But he's still with the superpower that is Shearing Speed Sports. They're going to come out firing. Steve, he's kind of got like that, I don't know, that almost looks like a drill sergeant mentality where you go out and you perform really well. And they usually do. So Hunter seems like a guy that works really hard. His fitness will be good. Again, he wins heat races. But really got to be able to put it together in the last 5 minutes of those finals, hold on to podiums, hold on to wins against guys like Elias and Emil. Number 4 is the rookie, Jordan Lael. I think he is going to be a rocket. He is by far the most impressive rookie to come out since Elias Isel. He showed it in the finale in Iowa last year that he can ride with them. And he just needs to keep his composure, all that kind of stuff. So he should be the sole focus over at Werner. I think they signed Post D2, but he's going to be running Pro Light. So Jordan Lael is the focus of Werner Racing, and it'll be really interesting to see how that jives with Elias kind of having a double focus at Skidoo. But yeah, really interested to see how this rookie does and how he progresses through the year. Number 3, Cody Camm. Cam showed his best season since his championship season, 2017, I believe. Again, that Polaris was very improved. They're getting to the point where they're refining it. Guys like Cody look and I believe are very, very comfortable. A big change for Cody this year is he's going to go over to Judnick. with Henches getting out of the snowcross scene. So kind of a refocus for Cody might be a good thing for him. I talked to him at Heydays. We sat by each other and signed autographs together, and I was asking him how it's going. Looks like he's riding really good down at Club MX. Can't wait to get him up here and back on a sled and really get into the swing of things. I think Cody's gonna be real fast all year long. I'm really excited for him. Number 2, Emil Haar. So I go back to Dan Benham with Emil. About that time that I was thinking I was hoping Dan would be put on a Polaris. Judnick signed Emil Haar, and I kind of scratched my head. But last year showed the potential that Juddy saw in Emil, and I think had he not tried his moon landing attempt in the Dominator on Friday night at Fargo of the opening weekend, I think that might have hurt him a little bit. But really in the middle of the season, he turned the afterburners on. He showed that he can challenge Elias, especially if he stays healthy. Man, he's gonna be a thorn in whoever's trying to win the championship side. So look for Emil to come out swinging in Ironwood. He'll be a threat to sweep the weekend and really take the red plate right out of Ironwood, and might be the guy that you never see after that. He might never look back. So big things coming for Emil Haar. And number 1 is Elias Isel. He's a 5-time champ. He's showed last year that even through injury at the beginning of the year that he's got a lot of speed. He's very poised. He's got a lot of grit in him. He's putting himself up there in the conversation with Tucker Hibbert and Blair Morgan. And I know I'm a grassroots guy, and there's other guys that are going to really complain about that. But if you look at what he's done over the last few years, and the competition level is still stout, nobody's really challenged him up until I thought Haar last year. So a couple of changes for the Isel team. He's moving to Skogquist. He is going to be under the watchful eye of Levi Ensrud. But will that really change how he rides, his potential, and where he finishes? It's tough to say that it's going to go very far. So look for Elias to really, between Elias Camm and Emil Haar, it's going to be a really big dogfight to begin the year. It should be a great, great, great first weekend in Ironwood, and I can't wait. So again, 10 is Cole Coutu, 9 Dan Benham, 8 Adam Peterson, 7 Oscar Norm with the potential to fly up, 6 Francis Pelletier, 5 Hunter Patnode, 4 Jordan Lael, the rookie, 3 Cody Camm, 2 Emil Haar, and Elias Isel, number 1. In the comments, drop who you think will be our top 3 in points coming out of Ironwood. I'd like to see what everybody else knows, but beyond that, hit up BlaneStevenson.com. We have merch. Turned out really good this year. You can catch up on all our social medias, at Stevenson102 on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook and all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you like this. We're going to come out with Pro Light power rankings really, really soon. I don't know how soon, but it's going to be really, really soon. So appreciate everybody tuning in.